It started as a joke, like most things often do. A young man, let's call him Matt, decided he'd take on a challenge that was both ridiculous and dangerous, consuming an entire 500-gram container of creatine powder in one sitting. Matt was the type who lived for the gym. Fitness influencers, supplement reviews, and viral challenges fueled his obsession with pushing his limits. Creatine, a popular supplement for muscle growth and performance, was his latest fixation. Normally, people take about 5 grams a day, about a tablespoon. Matt decided to take 100 times that amount. He didn't mix it with water. No, that wasn't dramatic enough. He dry scooped it, shoveling the powder into his mouth straight from the tube. It clumped. It gagged him. But he kept going, one scoop at a time, until it was gone. The trouble began within minutes. At first, Matt felt invincible. He claimed that he could feel his muscles swelling, his veins pumping like he was already mid-workout. That wasn't the power he was feeling. It was dehydration. Creatine works by pulling water into your muscles, which helps with energy production during intense activity. But when taken in excessive amounts, it disrupts the body's natural balance. The creatine in his system began drawing water out of his blood, organs, and tissues, leaving him dangerously dehydrated. By the time Matt noticed something was wrong, the nausea had set in. He started drinking water, gallons of it, desperate to quench an unrelenting thirst. But the water wasn't helping. His kidneys were overwhelmed, struggling to process the sheer amount of creatine flooding his bloodstream. Then the cramps came. Matt's muscles started locking up, at first his calves, then his thighs, and finally his chest. These were not ordinary muscle cramps. They were the result of hypertonicity, a condition where the balance of electrolytes in the body is severely disrupted. Electrolytes, like sodium and potassium, regulate muscle function, and with so much water being pulled into his muscles, the delicate balance was destroyed. He couldn't breathe properly. His diaphragm, the muscles that controls breathing, began to spasm. Each breath felt like a battle, shallow and strained. But the real horror was happening inside his muscles. When muscles swell beyond their limits and are pushed too far, they begin to break down. This process is called rhabdomyolysis. The muscle tissue releases a protein called myoglobin into the bloodstream. In small amounts, this isn't a problem, but Matt's levels were catastrophic. His kidneys, already working overtime, couldn't handle the toxic load. By the time he realized his urine was turning dark brown, a hallmark of rhabdomyolysis, it was too late. The dehydration, the swelling, the rhabdo, it all led to one final deadly complication: hyperkalemia. This condition occurs when potassium levels in the bloodstream skyrocket. Potassium is critical for heart function, but too much of it disrupts the muscle's electrical signals. Matt's heart began to race, then stutter, then stop. Paramedics arrived within minutes, finding him unconscious, his pulse erratic. They performed CPR, shocked his heart back into rhythm, and rushed him to the hospital. At the ER, doctors scrambled to save him. They started IV fluids to flush out the toxins and stabilize his electrolyte levels. He was hooked up to a dialysis machine, a device that filters the blood when the kidneys fail. His heart had been monitored constantly to prevent another deadly rhythm. Matt survived, but he didn't escape unscathed. Weeks of dialysis followed. His kidneys were permanently damaged, and his muscles had wasted away from the trauma. He would have never lifted weights again. He had lived with the consequences of his reckless actions for the rest of his life. Creatine isn't dangerous when used responsibly. It's one of the most studied and safest supplements out there when taken in recommended doses. But the human body has limits, and exceeding them, whether out of arrogance or ignorance, comes with a price. Challenges like Matt's aren't just stupid, they're deadly. And if you don't think about trying something like that, remember, the line between bravery and recklessness can be the difference between life and death. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment for the algorithm. Remember, I'm not a medical doctor. Do not perform anything that was portrayed in this video.